Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.
So they had Oprah speak. They had Oprah speak. And so let's just watch this.
From the redwood forest, love those redwoods.
Love them.
To the Gulf Stream waters.
First of all, her hair looks amazing. I don't know what they're doing, but what are they doing? That's got to be a $4,000 or $5,000 hairstyle.
I've seen racism and sexism and income inequality.
And so that's what they're talking about. They keep talking about racism. First of all, the racism problem, when Barack Obama was president, elected the second time overwhelmingly, people thought racism was the race problem in America was at a low point. And people thought we had made amazing progress. And then, of course, they did Occupy Wall Street, and they had to find a way to divide the country. And so they've done studies how all the corporate media started talking about white supremacy and racism. White supremacy and racism and white supremacy and racism. And what is that to do? That's there to stoke division in the country. And now they have Donald Trump, that's all they have. That's all they can talk about because it's a uniparty. They all want the same things. And so now they keep stoking this racism like it's 1950 in the United States instead of 2024, where Oprah Winfrey has been a celebrity on television my entire adult life. One of the most popular people in the country, a black woman. And she's a billionaire a couple times over. And so here, let's play it again.
And income inequality. And
she's talking, is there anything grosser to have a billionaire talk about income inequality? But that's what they're doing. They're all pretending. So this is a cavalcade of millionaires and billionaires on stage trying to pretend to you that they're regular working class people. And we got to fight racism. We got to get abortion, fight racism and LGBTQ. As if it's 1990 and LGBTQ people are still second-class citizens. They're not. They're first-class citizens. They can get married. They can't get fired for their sexuality. They can't be denied housing for it. They're completely treated as equals in this country. But you wouldn't know it to listen to these speeches. But here, let's get to this one.
Racism and sexism and income inequality and division. I've not only seen it, at times I've been on the receiving end of it.
She's a victim. My entire adult life, Oprah Winfrey has been a super powerful, super famous celebrity worth millions and now billions of dollars. Super powerful, she's so influential she could walk on stage everybody would take an audience with Oprah Winfrey, everyone, including the president of the United States and the future one and the current vice president. She has access and power to everybody, but she's a victim. She's going to let you know that she's a victim of racism and income inequality and sexism. Maybe there was a time in her life she was, but that's long gone. They gave her her own TV show 40 years ago. 40 years ago, she had her own television show. And what this reminds me of, so first of all, I want to show you this. Let me do a smaller version of me. Oprah's property in Maui alone is bigger than New York Central Park. Did you know that? The property that she owns in Maui is larger than New York Central Park. So when you have no policies, this is what you talk about. So let me, inside Oprah's breathtaking property portfolio, valued over $500 million. The billionaire media magnate is one of the most powerful women in the world and has an impressive property portfolio to prove it. We've done a deep dive into all of Oprah's properties, from her first luxury flat in Chicago to her Hawaiian estate. Oprah Winfrey reportedly owns around 1,000 acres of land across Maui, Hawaii. And that's just one of her houses. Look at that. Nice. An insider previously reported Winfrey owns an estate in Montecito, California, which I drove past it. It's up in Santa Barbara. We went up to Santa Barbara, and somebody said, "Yeah, that's Oprah's property," which she bought for $52 million 23 years ago. Imagine what it's worth now. She bought it for $52 million 23 years ago, as well as a duplex in Chicago, a home in Antigua, and a ski chalet in Telluride, California. Plus, yes. But why can't you just Airbnb it? If you want to go, when you want to go skiing, why can't you Airbnb it? That's what I did when I went to Big Bear. I wanted to go for a 4-day vacation on a lake. I Airbnb'd it. Celebrities, including Winfrey, have previously been called out for making big property purchases in Hawaii, as native Hawaiians are priced out of the land and experience high rates of homelessness. So this is person that cares about the now. You remember Michelle Obama, what she was saying the other night, how her parents were always suspect of people who took more than they needed. Michelle Obama is worth about $170 million. So I just wanted to show you that. So there's Oprah Winfrey. Oh, by the way, let me see if I have one more video I want to play about her. I don't think I have it. Okay, but let me play this one. So this is it's weird to watch Barack Obama, his wife, Oprah Winfrey get up there and paint themselves as some kind of victim or regular working person. Here's Michelle Obama.
You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope every single day of her life. She believed that all children, all people have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed.
Would that be you? Or would they be suspicious of you and your husband? Because you also have a Maui estate. You had to break environmental laws to put up a seawall, which causes beach erosion down the street. You guys don't care. You get it cut out because you're the Obamas. You have a huge estate on Martha's Vineyard. What is it? Is it 40 acres? You have another huge house in Chicago. Hey, go ahead, live your life. Isn't it funny too? All these people who scream about, all these millionaires and billionaires who scream about climate change and rising sea levels, keep buying beachfront property. But don't come on here and talk about how you're suspect of people who took more than they needed, or that you care about the downtrodden. What the hell did you do for the homeless while your husband was president? Nothing. You increased it. You kicked 5.1 million families out of their house during a banking crisis as Barack Obama made sure the bankers got their bonuses. That's the kind of people you are. That's why this kind of stuff just turns my stomach. Apparently she's not in touch with Oprah's hair lady.
They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Guess what happened while your husband was president? The income inequality soared. He kicked 5.1 million families, not people, families, out of their homes while he made the banks whole. He passed a right-wing healthcare plan that didn't really help regular people because they still can't afford the deductible. If their deductible is $10,000, they still can't afford to go see a doctor. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff it's grossing me out that's happening at the DNC. And I'm going to try and go confront. They literally have a vasectomy tent and they have an abortion tent. So Russell Dobler and I are going to go over there and try to troll them later. And Max Blumenthal found a way to get next to the powerful people. I have a pass that gets me inside the hall, and so I might go over there and try that tonight. There's another big protest tonight, but the protests have been super uneventful. That's how I feel. Like they're not even talking about them on the news. They're not even talking about them in the hall. That's for sure. Racism was at its lowest point, and people felt better about it than ever. And then after Occupy Wall Street, then what happened? Well, what happened was the establishment started printing in corporate news in their newspapers, racism, white supremacy, were to divide the country. And now that's what they talk about constantly, as if, you know, there's a KKK person under every bed and around every corner. And here's what, I just wanted to play this. I want to put this on the end of that segment. Here's what Morgan Freeman has to say about it, because they are artificially inflating the problem of race in America. There's no doubt they're doing that. And here's what Morgan Freeman has to say about it. And the reason why Oprah's on there talking about race and why all the Democrats talk about it is because they don't have any policies to distinguish themselves from the Republicans. So, what, except for abortion. Okay. And by the way, Hillary Clinton put a guy on her vice president was anti-abortion. Yeah. Just so you know. Tim Kaine was against abortion rights. So here's what Morgan Freeman has to say about all this racism talk.
History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
So Black History Month he finds ridiculous. Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
Black History Month you find.
So I think that the establishment, just like with the transition, all this stuff doesn't come from the bottom up. It comes from the top down. And they want us to keep talking about things that divide us. And that's one of them, even though we've been making amazing progress on it. And that's why you get a billionaire like Oprah Winfrey, who's been a super powerful, super rich, super celebrity my entire adult life, gets up on stage and talks about her oppression from sexism and racism. That's why Michelle Obama gets up there and says, yeah, we're suspect of rich people. You are them. Your husband was elected president twice.
Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.